Greetings, my children. It is I, Dr. Jimmy again. And yes, it's another one of those golden hour moments when the light is so amazing, which won't last. It'll get spooky dark real fast. Let's see if we can get our video done before dark and scary things start haunting us. Because this particular video deals with paranormal activity. Ooh, back before it was called that. I mean, well, it was still called that, but the movie Paranormal Activity wouldn't come out for nearly 30 years. Anyway, well, it is August still. It's August 30th of the lovely 2018, and that means it's 15 nights to Horror Nights. Yes, in just 15 more nighs, we'll be out in the spooky dark again. Ha! And I have with me a shirt from last year's event. You might remember this. Lovely blue and red design, and good old Bone Daddy, who should have been the icon, was the icon and all, but oh look, it got dark again. Isn't it amazing? I get up and show my same thing happened last time. Just all of a sudden, bang, it all goes blue. Just like this shirt, you know, red and blue. It just changed. And on the sleeve, the UOAP. Amazing. So here we are again. As it's already getting spooky dark, so I better be careful. As this is the video in which I'll be doing my cocktail for Poltergeist. They're here. Yes, put my hands on the screen just like on the other side. Ooh, spooky. Oh dear, is there a curse on this cocktail? A lot of people think there's a curse on the movie. Well, Poltergeist had me going for a while. That's why it took a bit before I got to the cocktail. What the hell could be a poltergeist cocktail? The spirit moves you. So you drink enough, you'll be moved. Yes. Spirits. It always looks like something's out there. Anyway. Pooky. Yeah. Anyway, so Poltergeist cocktail. I was trying to think what might be in it. There's a type of gin which is actually called Poltergeist, but you really can't get it around here. It comes from Tasmania. You have to go all the way to freaking Tasmania, and it's guarded by ferocious Tasmanian devils. Well, probably not the last bit. But it's not available in this area, that much I found out. But I thought that would be fun, but oh, there might be some pubs that might have it in the area, but I can't get it at a local liquor shop, so I had to think of something else. But maybe I'd use some other variety of gin, some nice London gin or something, but I have to come up with something that would evoke the movie. Thinking about, what could I do? Something about buried in the wrong, moving the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies, why? Or something about, spooky clowns under the bed. There's so many things. What could I make a cocktail? I finally decided to focus on the central image, so familiar. They're here. Little Carol Ann in front of the telly with the white static. Because, the national anthem played, and that was the end of the night, the sign-off. Do television channels even sign off now? It seems like they just keep playing all night long. But when I was a lad, they tended to sign off. And then there'd be a national anthem, and a test patch, it'd just go to static. Psh, static. And it's that white static, I thought. And of course, that's where the spirit hand comes out and grabs at her. And there's like a bolt flies out and the nice golden retriever barks. Woof, woof. Because, they had a nice golden, just like the one in just like the one in E.T. And it came out the same time, and Spielberg directed one and produced the other one. Was it the same dog? Whoa. Whoa. No, I don't think so. But anyway, we have, what could I make? And I decided I'd make something that would remind me of that white glow of the telly and that strange supernatural translucent colour. But what could I do to make a cocktail like that? I thought about all sorts of possibilities, but just the other day it hit me. Just the right substance to give it the right look, and it would have a nice flavour too. So I shall begin the cocktail. Took me a bit to figure it out. Fortunately, there's a large Asian neighborhood in Orlando. I'm a bit Asian myself. I don't look it, but as you may not realize this, but I wasn't born in this country. And you're thinking, oh yeah, you're born in England, you're Brit, right? No, I'm not. No, I'm American. I've always been American. I've never been a citizen of any other country but America. And that's because in the country I was born, they have those weird laws where just being born there doesn't make you a citizen. If your parents belong to a different country, then so are you. In fact, my brother was born there, and they considered his birth an illegal entry, and they fined my parents. So my parents took the precaution when it came my turn to be born. They went to the American consulate and had me registered as a resident alien living in that country, an American citizen in utero. Can you believe that? I've been an American since before I was born. So there. Anyway, I'll start out with some gin. This is my little shiny silver jigger, and this is the gin I like. I've been using lately. I've used it here before. It's Bloom gin from England. A distinctly floral gin inspired by true beauty of nature. Okay, well, there's a tree in the movie. Alright, pour some of that into the jigger. Purple, 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 purple. Blip, 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 blip. Ah. And then pour that into this shaker of ice. And spill some all over me desk. But I took the precaution of putting my keyboard under the shelf. Do I have a napkin? I do not have a napkin. I'll deal with that later. Alrighty then, I shall now cork the bottle back up so I don't drop it and spill gin all over my feet. Okay? So the other ingredient that I wanted to use, the ingredient that will give it the right appearance. As I was saying, I lived in a country that is an ancient empire that once controlled the mighty oceans next to a large continent that had dominated it before, but it rose to prominence over that continent and became a mighty maritime empire. But not England, no. Japan. Yes, it was Japan. I was born there and lived there till I was 7 years old. Then I went to Hawaii. Hey, bruh, like that. Yeah, exactly. This whole British thing is complete put on. A complete fake accent. So, back in Japan, there was this drink, which, what the hell is it made out of? Now that I think about it, I'm not quite sure. It has some kind of milk in it, and some soy and other stuff, and citric acid, and it comes out a very strange, pale, whitish, almost glowing color. And in Japan it's called karipsu. Karipsu. But they spell it on the label, even in Japan, in English letters, C-A-L-P-S-U. P-I-S. It looks like it reads cow piss. What? It's cow piss? You drinking cow piss? No, it's not even called that, but they realized, and they wanted to market this into other countries where English was spoken, it might be a good idea if they changed that. So they have now put on the label cow pico. Cow pico, even though that sounds nothing like calypso. In fact, why didn't they call it calypso? Because calypso could sound more like, oh well, I don't know. It's a more romantic sounding name. Anyway, this is a non-carbonated soft drink, which has a sort of citrusy and at the same time sort of milky flavour, which was a favourite of mine as a youth. As a small boy, actually, in Japan, I really liked it. And the colour, that's just part of it. It's like this almost glowing, pale. It just was perfect. So I'm going to pour a lot of this into the cocktail shaker and see what happens. But I'm going to try to bring it all together with a bit of bitters, specifically some Bitter Truth orange bitters. If I can get the... Sometimes I can't get it to open. Oh, here we go. So we'll just put a few dashes of those into that as well. And then it's time to shake this like mad and hope it doesn't explode. Too full. Some of it's splashing. I better shake it at a distance. It's poltergeist activity. That's what it is. Why it's splashing about. It's coming, defying the laws of physics and all and gravity. It's just splashing at us. Okay, so let me get my cocktail glass, and I'll just pour the stuff in, and hopefully it will look right. I'm hoping that it will be... Oh yes, that's exactly the effect I wanted. A sort of pale, almost bluish white, glowing liquid that looks almost like it's paranormal itself, floating mysteriously through the air like a supernatural poltergeist from the movie. Quite lovely. Does it taste lovely? Too many bitters, I think. Because the orange bitters come through stronger than I expected. Although, as usual, after a couple of sips it started... Oh, that's not bad. The first time it was like a startle. I was expecting it to be more sweet. Tastes more like the straight cow pico. Or I prefer to call it cow calypso, not cow piss. Calypso, because it has that... It's very sweet, but it's not that sweet, now that I remember it correctly. But at first, it seemed like, ooh, a little bit. But now the flavors start to blend together better. The gin, the floral notes in the bloom gin with the calypso and the bitters, it's working now. Yes. Again, sometimes it takes a couple of sips and then you can start to get a bit drunk and it tastes better. It does have a slightly bitter edge though, but I did throw some bitters in on purpose so it wouldn't be too sweet. So it does have a slight edge to it, so it's not too cloying, but it works actually. It does work. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. And my goodness, It does seem to glow in the dark, doesn't it? I mean, it isn't really phosphorescent, but somehow it does have that appearance here in this dark room. It does seem to catch the light so well that it looks, you know, even, does it light up my face when I bring it close? No, it does. It's not really glowing by itself, but it does give that reflective, like the moon. It really is looking quite spooky. And that's what I intended. There's still quite a bit more in the shaker. I'll pour myself some more of it. Hell, I've got nothing better to do. There it is. Very lovely. Yes, definitely not bad. So, this is my Poltergeist cocktail. And I am looking forward to this house greatly. I've learned a bit more about the house since I gave my reaction video to the announcement. Because, of course, they had a little live stream last week. Ooh, which wasn't actually live. No, they were all dead. Yes, they were all zombies telling them. They weren't there. They're quite alive, thank God. Thank God. That was lovely people like Mike Guaiello and Charles Gray and David Hughes and what's his name, Blake or Blaze. See, it's starting to affect me. It is starting to affect me. All those lovely people from creative and art and design, and they all sort of sat around a table, and there was a chap, there was one lady, I forget the lady's name. I hate when I should look these up, write them down before I talk about people. That way I won't be embarrassing myself. But there's also a chap who designs merchandise like this kind of stuff, right? And so he talked about all that kind of stuff. It was really nifty live feed, and it's still available at the Universal Orlando Resort YouTube channel. And so look it up under they have Horror Night stuff. They should also have that. It runs about an hour long, and but they also talked a bit about some of the haunted houses, including Poltergeist. I think that's where they talked about it. Unless they were talking about it... Unless it was when Murdy and Aiella were sitting together at Midsummer Scream. And I might have gotten the two things mixed up. But it doesn't really matter. Either way, they talked about the haunted house since it was announced. And so since the last time I talked about it with the announcement, we've learned a bit more about the haunted house, including whether it was at one live feed or the stage presentation with Murdy in California. It doesn't really matter where the information came out. It came out. And one of the things that was said is that they're going to try to make this a little surreal. The whole house takes place in the climactic moments of the movie. If you remember in the movie, at the end of it, they discover that the whole house and probably the whole neighborhood was built over the cemetery, but they only moved the headstones and they didn't move the bodies. Yes. And they find out in a ghastly way in the swimming pool, which you can no longer see because it got dark, but earlier you could see. And what happens is all the corpses are bursting out of the pool, just like they just did, and now they're trying to get in. Ah, fuck! No. That would be horribly frightening if corpses were to suddenly attack me. Just back. More likely to be attacked by a kitty cat. Anyway, they're in the pool and they come popping out all muddy and gory and icky and bleh. There has been a rumor for years that they used actual corpses in this scene and they didn't tell anyone, and because of that, there's a curse on the movie. Well, we don't have corpses, but I was just attacked by a ferocious furry creature called the Lenny cat, and she's right here. You might have heard her when she had pounced. She's lurking in the dark so you can't quite see her. See, it does glow in the dark. How dark it is, and yet the cocktail can clearly be seen, shining like a light of paranormal activity. Then you can't. It's not milk, you can't drink it. Yeah. So that's going to be the start of the haunted house. You're going to be in the pool, looking up at the house, apparently, when you come. And then you go underground, apparently, to get into the house. And then, of course, it will include all sorts of scenes from the movie, like the face that comes out of the door, and the sort of bent backwards, poodle-skinned beast that frightened Mrs. Freeling. They're going to have, of course, the horrific clown that grobs, man, grobbed him. It's like Keanu Reeves talking. Well, he was totally grobbed by that clown. What the fuck? Oh, I had my TV on earlier, and I was watching one of those things that you can pause, and you push pause, and you think it'll be by itself. But then if you pause it and leave it for a little while, it turns itself back on and frightens the fuck out of you in the other room. The TV turns on by itself like Poltergeist. Oh God! Scared. The fuck is that? It's probably some god-awful program, reality show competition. Is that one of those idol brother, get off my island, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, America's Not Talent and all of that? Sounds like some kind of competition. There's people laughing and shit. I wish it didn't do that. It's interrupting my video. Oh well, I still have a little bit of liquid in there. All of it now is out of the shaker and into the glass. The fuck? Excuse me, I have to shut that up. It's just annoying me. So long getting out of there. Yes, I had been watching earlier a lovely episode of Tales from the Crypt, actually, on a DVD, and after I turned off the device, I left it without putting it back to regular telly, and I forgot that if you leave it for a while, it'll just shut itself off and switch back to the television. And what happened is it was on NBC, and right now it's just past 8 o'clock, and so I'll say what it was, the noise you heard, because NBC is owned by Universal, and I'm talking about a Universal haunted house coming up, so I might as well plug the television program on NBC that came up that was so bizarre, and the laughing, and it sounded like reality. It was actually a game show that Ellen DeGeneres has, where she had people on some chairs that were spinning about while they're trying to think of answers to quiz questions or something. It looked quite silly, but it might also be fun. I didn't know she had a game show. Apparently she does have a game show now. I guess she lost her job with the dinosaurs in Epcot, and so she has to do something for a living. What? A chat show? Well, that might be a good idea. If she had a chat show in the afternoon, she might send one of her interns to Horror Nights and scare him in the haunted houses. That would be fun. Anyway, so that's what the noise was. So I got rid of it, so we're fine. And now to proceed. I was talking about the haunted house that's coming up, and it should be a lot of fun, and the more I hear of it, the more excited I get. And just the other night was the anniversary of the death of Toby Hooper, the man who directed this movie, and we must pause and remember him. So, Poltergeist cocktail is in the spooky bag. That is good, actually. I still have a bit more of the Calypso, or Cow Pico, as it says there. I'll go drink that later, non-alcoholically. Or maybe make another one of these. So, I still have to make my videos on the announcements that came out last week. And OMG, they had a lot of announcements last week. And there'll be at least 3 videos about all the announcements. The Blumhouses in both coasts, and the one about the Wicked Witch coming back in Deadly Ever After, and some other interesting things that happen with that live feed. And then another video which will be about the most recent big announcement, which will be in Hollywood for, of course, the lovely Universal Monsters Maze. So all of those things have to be talked about, of course. Then I would like at some point to continue my history of Halloween Horror Nights 25. Especially as it's now just about 2 weeks to Horror Nights, but I have a lot of time to do a lot of videos, so maybe I can get quite a few of them in the next few days. In addition to that, cocktail videos. I got up to Poltergeist, and I know what I'm going to do for the next cocktail video, the next haunted house cocktail video for Halloween Horror Nights 28, and that's for the next one that was announced, which is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I've got that one figured out. I also know the cocktail I have in mind for Scary Tales Deadly Ever After. But I have not yet decided exactly what will be in the Blumhouse of Horrors cocktail for this year. And I'm working on it. I've served one idea. I just have to swing by the liquor store and see if they have what I hope they have. And if they do, that might be a good idea. So, I will be making the Halloween 4 cocktail probably tomorrow night, because I've had enough of this already. I don't want to get any more schlocked, and this one takes a little bit of skill to pull off. Also, it's better in a lighter environment. I want you to see what's happening a little bit easier, and so I will start that one earlier in the day when it's still a little lighter, and maybe it won't, turn from day to night when I get up and down like it has this time, the past couple of times. Maybe it has something to do with the light sensor. I don't know, but it looks so pretty and glowing, and then I show off my shirt when I sit back down, and damn, it's all gone dark. Or it could just be that's how fast it gets dark around here. What's that? Anyway, spooks. So, that's it. Well, so that's my Halloween 4 cocktail coming up. Probably this time tomorrow night. And hopefully I'll get some more videos done tomorrow afternoon before that. We'll see. There's so much to do, so little time to do it in. And remember, it's just 15 nights till Halloween Horror Nights. I'm excited. I can't wait to go back out into the spooky dark. Yes. So until then, I bid you all good night and pleasant screams.